I don't know if anybody else do this, but I take the hot ones and the regular ones, and I mix them bitches up and put them all together. See? That's just what I like to do. I was having a difficult time sleeping, right? And I was thinking about what had happened to me earlier. Earlier today, I had gotten a ride to the little Sprouts up the street. It's like a little grocery store. I don't know if y'all know Sprouts. It's like a grocery store, like a health food grocery store or some shit like that. Anyways, nonetheless, I had gotten a ride up to Sprouts, and the girl who was taking me basically blacked out on me while she was driving me. So we driving, and we get to where we going, and she's parking the car. And as she's parking the car, I make eye contact with her, and I notice the lights is on, but ain't nobody home. Okay? Meaning, her eyes was open, but she wasn't really there. I don't know if any one of y'all could, understand what I'm trying to say. Like, her eyes was open. She was, visibly, like, you could see her pupils, you could see her eyes. They were open, but she was not there. Like, it was like they was, like, dead. Like, they was open, but they wasn't, like, she wasn't seeing anything. Like, when you wave your hand in front of her face, her pupils wasn't moving, her eyes wasn't moving. It wasn't expanding or contracting or anything of that nature. So it was a little concerning, right? She was trying to park the car like that. So I was finally able to convince her to let me park the car. First of all, let me park the car. So I parked the car. And when we walked in the store, it's like she literally just like folded over into the damn shopping basket. Like, she was bent over, folded over into the shopping basket with her head on top of the groceries that I was purchasing. And like, I've worked with, people with disabilities before, and I work with people who are on heavy narcotics and heavy pharmaceutical drugs prior to this. So I've seen this before, but just to have it happening in my everyday personal life was a lot today. Especially because it was at such a level. Like, I've never had anybody literally be talking to me one minute and the next minute it's like they ain't there. Like, they're not there. And I just thought to myself, like, I've never seen her do any, like, narcotics. Like, I've never seen her do drugs. All she does is pharmaceutical drugs, like the pharmaceutical prescription pills that her doctors prescribe her. And I was just looking at the level and the large amount of pills that she has prescribed to her, and the fact that she was driving the car and she just blacked the fuck out. And if I wouldn't have been in the car, it's no telling what would have happened to this lady. Like, she probably would have ran into something. And she was already finna leave. Like, she was already planning on going somewhere. It was more of a like, oh, you finna go somewhere. Well, let me get a ride to the store right quick. And I'll ride with you to wherever you gotta go and help you get the boxes that you need to pick up or whatever. So it was, like beneficial for both of us. But she blacked the fuck out. Like completely went blank. Like her eyes was dead. Like I was looking in them, I was looking at her pupils, but she was not there. Like nothing was being registered. Like no hand motions, no lights. You know what I'm saying? Like if you take your hand and do like this, you know how a person's eyes will flinch or like blink a little bit. It was none of that. And when we got in the store and she was basically folded over the damn shopping cart, I just thought to myself, like, these prescription drugs is worse than narcotics. Like, this shit doesn't make any sense. And I've been an advocate for this for years. Like, I've been advocating against prescription pills for over a decade. And just watching the large amount of people that these doctors are prescribing these medications to and the way in which it makes them conduct themselves. You know what I'm saying? Like this lady, we are out in public and she is basically like gone. And anybody could have walked up to this lady, raped this lady, robbed this lady, killed this lady, anything. She could have ran that car into the side of a damn hospital or into the side of a children's hospital. You know what I'm saying? Like, it could have been tragic. But just watching it up close and personal just gave me a whole nother perspective on how deadly these pharmaceutical drugs are. Like, these drugs ain't for nobody. Like, they're not curing anything. They're making the situation worse. This lady is a menace to society because she's on these prescription pills and she's driving behind the wheel of a vehicle. And she don't feel like she's doing nothing wrong. Why? Because she's taking the medications that her doctor is prescribing her. I literally got this lady home thanks to the cashier at the Sprouts. The cashier at the Sprouts was able to look and see and was like, whoa. Like, she was like, let me help. She helped me get her to the car. She helped me. She wiped water all over this lady's face and everything. If it wasn't for that lady, Eureka, I think her name was Eureka. Eureka. God bless her. Because if it was not for Eureka, I don't know if I would have got her back here. Like, I don't know if I would have been able to do it on my own. I don't think that I have the knowledge or the adaptation to do the right thing in that situation. You know what I mean? Like, if it was not for Eureka, I wouldn't have known what to do because this lady was literally falling out all over the place in the grocery store. Like, and when we left, she was fine. She was talking. She was comprehending everything. We were having a whole conversation. And within the next 15 minutes, because it only took 5 minutes to get to the grocery store from here. So within the next 15 minutes of us having a whole full-on conversation, she was gone. She was there, but she was not there. And I just want to know, like, when are we gonna say enough is enough? Like, when are we going to say enough is enough with the prescription medications? Like, it's not okay for them to turn regular citizens into junkies. And that's what they're doing. They are turning everyday average citizens into junkies. Because these people don't think that they're doing anything wrong. Why? Because they are taking medications that are prescribed to them by their doctors and physicians. And these medications is causing them to lose their whole life. Possibly kill somebody in the process. She was behind the wheel of a vehicle. If I did not know enough to know okay, she is not present. Let me get her from behind the wheel. If I did not know enough to know that, I could have been killed today behind the wheel of a car. Somebody that ain't even on narcotics, they just on prescription medications that their doctor has prescribed them. That shit is, it's unreal to think that an everyday average citizen of the United States of America can be turned into a junkie just because their doctor prescribed them medications that they don't really need to be on. I mean, y'all wonder how people turn into junkies and how people end up homeless? That's how. That's exactly how people end up in those situations. Being prescribed medications by their doctor that are highly addictive and highly debilitating. Like, she cannot function on those medications. But her doctor has no issue prescribing them to her each month. Each month. And the medications are only making her quality of life that much more worse. I don't know. Like, I don't know when we're going to one day wake up and realize, like, hey, you know, maybe those doctors are just high-priced drug dealers. Maybe those doctors are just concerned about the advances that they're getting from those pharmaceutical companies to push those medications. Because there's no way in the hell that the doctor that gives her those prescriptions each month is concerned about her well-being. Because she cannot even function. She's literally just got into a car accident last year. And she's going to end up in another one. Because she doesn't believe that she's doing anything wrong. She's taking the medications that are being prescribed to her by her physician. She ain't at the dope hole buying drugs. She's at the pharmacy getting prescriptions filled. So she doesn't think that she's doing a goddamn thing wrong. And as long as that doctor keeps prescribing those medications, guess what she's going to keep doing? She's going to keep going to the pharmacy and getting those filled out. And she's going to continue to take them. Because she don't feel like she's doing anything wrong. I don't know. I don't really have much to touch on that. I just, when we gonna say enough is enough? I don't know. I'm gonna end it on that though. Y'all be good to yourself and be good to others because it's important. Be real with yourself, therefore you can be real with others because that is also important. You know it don't take nothing to hit the thumbs up or the subscribe button. So if you're tuning into the live and you haven't done that, what the fuck are you doing? What are you doing? Nonetheless, if you is vibing with your girl and you is digging the content, or you just feel that you know a friend who could also use this message, please feel free to share the live, sweetie. And I'll get back at y'all next time.